Hi friends, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, we'll be diving into the key differences between healthy relationship standards, preferences, and fantasies, and how mixing these up could actually be the reason why some people end up in bad relationship or keep attracting the people that they actually don't like that much. So hopefully by the end of this video, you would have gained some level of clarity that will help you improve your dating experiences going forward. For those of you that don't know me, my name is Prophet Ene. I'm a relationship coach and the host of Before the Vow, Beyond the Ring podcast, where we talk about godly relationship. With my experience so far helping single people and people in a relationship navigate the complexity of dating today, it is my passion to also help you to navigate your dating experiences and end up in a healthy relationship and marriage. So if you're the person that likes to learn and you want to have a healthy relationship or marriage, then this is the right channel for you. I want to encourage you to subscribe to my channel, hit the notification button so that you'll be notified the next time I upload a new video. So let's dive into today's video. So we will start with standards because a lot of times I hear people talk about standards. You hear this statement, raise your standards, don't settle for bare minimum, don't do this, don't do that when it comes to dating and what you accept. But most times when people talk about standards, I ask them, what do you even mean by standards or rating your standard? I discovered that not a lot of them actually knows what standards is all about. Healthy relationship standard, most importantly. Most of them are referring to preferences and they are allowing those preferences that they have to actually hinder them from going into a healthy relationship. So what is standards basically? Standards are non-negotiable principles that determine if you accept somebody or not. So the key word here is that standards are non-negotiable. That means they are core values, they are core things that help you have a healthy relationship. Standards are qualities that you expect from people. They are qualities that you expect that the person you want to be with should have. And at the same time, they are qualities that you should build for yourself. Because it takes two people who are healthy to have healthy relationship. One person who is healthy and one person who is unhealthy can never have a healthy relationship. It takes two people who are healthy mentally to have a healthy relationship and have the right knowledge to have a healthy relationship. That's why I said there are qualities you look out for in a life partner and there are qualities that you yourself also have to build and internalize and become yourself for you to have a healthy relationship. So I would say simply, standards or the presence of standards means that you are almost guaranteed that you have a very, very healthy relationship. And lack of it means that you definitely have a failed relationship or you definitely get into a relationship where you will be treated so badly or make room for people who are not even qualified to be in a relationship to want to be a part of your life. That's the truth. So example of standards is integrity. Integrity is very core to any relationship that will work. If you are somebody who is of great integrity, you want somebody else who is of great integrity. Another thing is respect. So if you're setting your standards to be, oh yes, I want a respectful person, you most likely yourself also have to be a respectful person or a person of integrity or somebody who has a strong common value for their relationship with God. You want another person who has a strong value for their relationship with God. So technically, that's what standards are. And the truth is that standards are objective. They are objective truths. What I mean by their objective truth is that every single human being technically value those things. I don't think there are people who value dishonesty. I don't think there are people who value people who are not true to their words. I mean, people might tolerate it at some point, but that doesn't mean they value it. So that's the thing about standards. So the key point I want you to take out from this explanation of standard is that standards are non-negotiable, number one. Number two, standards determine if you will have a healthy relationship or not. Number three, standards are things that you want from somebody and you also have to become yourself. Now, let's talk about preferences. Preferences is a lot different from standards in the sense that they are very, very negotiable. So preferences are technically subjective likes and dislikes. So remember I said standards are objective. Everybody almost wants them. But preferences are subjective. They are individual based. What I like might be different from what you like. And what you like might be different from what somebody else like. So preferences varies by individual and the subject or the things you are looking out for. Preference, most times it comes up when it comes to physical appearances of the people that we want to date, that we want to be with. So some persons prefer big people, fat people. Some other people prefer slim people, short people. Some other people prefer tall people. So it varies per individual. And the truth about it is that it's very, very negotiable.
At 7. So I would prefer someone who's over 6 feet. Honestly, I mean, definitely over 6 figures.
You gotta be 6 feet, 6 figures. So a man that made 80,000, that's not
No, not at all.
Why is 80,000 not enough, bro?
I know me. I know my lifestyle. That's just not going to cut it.
They are not concrete the way standards are, and they don't necessarily determine if you will have a healthy relationship or not. They help in your relationship. They help you in that relationship technically, but then they don't necessarily make or break your relationship the way standard does. For another example could be personality traits. Somebody who is introverted, somebody else is extroverted. So you might be the kind of person that likes somebody who's outgoing and all those kind of, those things are good. They are great. They are nice. And also maybe you want somebody who has a different career path, somebody who is a lawyer, somebody who's a doctor, all those kind of things. Those things are nice. They are good, but they are not core. That's what I want you to understand. Because most times when people are talking about raising your standard, they are talking about raising preferences, not necessarily standards. They are trying to say you should want this and then stick to that and hold on to that, when those things don't even contribute. Like he has to be 6 feet. He has to be making 6 figures. She has to be built this way. She has to have this. She has to have that. And then you see people go out there, take these things, and they want to internalize them into their life and use those things to determine who they should date. I saw a video the other day, all these pop the balloon videos, and they asked the lady, is he your type? She was like, yeah, he's my type and something like that. But then they asked her, why did she pop the balloon? She said one of her aches is that she doesn't like men that wear trousers, pants that actually show their ankle. And that's why she popped her balloon. I'm like, what is wrong with people these days?
All right. So why'd you end up popping your balloon?
I popped my balloon because you are very fine down to the ankles.
I do what I can.
I just, it's a pet peeve of mine when men wear pants that don't cover their ankles.
Okay.
So that was why I popped.
Okay, got it.
What somebody wears to a show can change. I mean, that's not what they wear every day. And it's not like even the clothes is indecent or immoral. Like, I get the fact if you don't want somebody who dresses naked and all this other, I'm big for that. That's even a standard too. But then when it comes to the style of the, if the person is covered and all those kind of things can change over time. Like, they don't really matter that much. You can't say because of the hairstyle he makes or she makes, that means, I mean, don't get me wrong, preferences, some of them can be very strict. You can be strict with some level of your preferences if that's who you are or if that's what you really want. But then one thing I want you to know is that you don't want to make marital decisions just based on those things, because that's what many people do. They make marital decisions based on those things. You don't want to do that, or they reject people outrightly based on those things. And you keep wondering, why haven't I met my person? I mean, you have met your person again and again and again, but your person probably wasn't really dressing the way you have imagined it. Or maybe your person didn't approach you the way you have designed it in your head. Because there are some people who prefer to be approached in a certain way. So anybody who approaches them in a way that is not the way they have imagined it, then they don't give the people attention. And that's why they are still single today. So you don't want to do that. Those things are not standards. You get what I'm saying? Get my point? They're not standards. So you don't have to make those mistakes. So what I want you to take note of today is that preferences are very negotiable. They are subjective. They can change. There are things that you can work on, even in the relationship. But hear me out. Hear me out. If you know that something is not something that you can overlook, even though if it's a preference, don't overlook it. I'm not saying you should overlook things when they are important to you, because, I mean, at the end of the day, there are some things that we hold on to and we really want. So I'm not saying you overlook it, but then I want you also to be realistic, because that's one thing about standards. Standards are based on reality. Preferences, somewhere in between, but then you want to be sure that they are not things you can overlook and be happy. That's the key point. There are things you can overlook and still be happy, because they don't determine if your relationship or marriage will work or fail. Now, the third one will be fantasies. This is where so many people lose it, because this one is so unrealistic. Fantasies are based on unrealistic expectations. An example of this is somebody who watches a lot of Telemundos, Z World, all these romantic movies, and they expect that their partners must meet those kind of things. Whoever scripted those movies or whoever acted those movies we are doing. My dear, you have to be more realistic a little bit. Leave the delulu parts. Don't be delulu. So what I'm trying to say in essence is that fantasies are usually very unrealistic. They are not something you want to build a healthy relationship on. I mean, if you get it at the end of the day, it's good and fine. It's great. But then you shouldn't take it so serious. So expecting that you'll be happy every day in a relationship. I mean, we all want happiness. We all want it, but expecting instant happiness every day and never to quarrel, never to fight, never. I mean, when I say fight, I'm not talking about punching each other. I'm not an encourager of violence. I'm talking about arguments, technically. So because you're a human being, your partner is a human being, you always have disagreement and you always argue about things. And sometimes those arguments might not necessarily end well as per like everybody come out of it happy. Maybe sometimes you might need to just take a walk and chill out and come back again. But expecting that you never have differences that will probably make you have some disagreement here and there is not reality. You're a human being, you always have different opinions and stuff like that. Also, some people who believe their partner should be spotless and perfect in everything, like they know when you need water, they bring you the water. They know when you are angry, they'll read your mind and come to you and all those kind of things. No. You don't build a healthy relationship that way. So the key thing is that fantasies, they are not rooted in reality. So this is what I want you to do. I know you have a list. There are things you want in a life partner. There are things that you are craving. There are things that are important to you. I would like you to write everything down. Then sit down and ask yourself, which of these things fall into the category of standards? Which of these things fall into the category of preference? And which of these things fall into the category of fantasy? This is how you start organizing your list so that you have a better chance of meeting somebody that you will spend the rest of your life with. So when you have your list, remember, standards are non-negotiables, things that you cannot negotiate, things that if they are not there, that means that relationship will fail. That's how I want you to see standards. They are the things that you know that if this thing is lacking, or if I even ignore this for 1 minute, then that relationship is doomed to fail. Then put those things, their integrity level, how respectful they are, how they relate with their family, stuff like that. You want to put those things high up there. Then you now ask yourself, what are the things I would have preferred? Tall, dark, handsome, 6-figure, all those things that are the conversation of today. Because almost nobody talks about respect. Almost nobody talks about integrity. Almost nobody talks about core things, vulnerability, transparency, and all those stuff. It's all about how much she asks to earn, how much she has to earn, what she looks like, and all those stuff. No. You want to start categorizing your preferences, all those things, and bring it under your preferences and start asking yourself, okay, these ones are negotiable. They are subjective to me. Which ones do I need, like that are very close up there with my standards, and which ones are closer to my fantasies and all those kind of stuff. Then categorize those things. And then the last part of it is now, you now bring those ones that are in your fantasies, maybe your perfect dream, you wish that your partner will be, all those kind of stuff. You know what I'm saying there, right? You put those ones there and then leave them there. So whenever somebody comes into your life, whether it be you're a man or you're a woman, whoever comes into your life, you now say, okay, yeah, you're watching them, you are talking, you are having conversation, having great relationship or maybe great conversation. Then you're now looking at them. Oh, they are very respectful. They respect my opinion. They show respect to their elders. They show respect to everybody around them. All this kind of thing. You put them there. Okay, yeah, they are meeting this, they are meeting that, they are meeting this and that and that. Then you now look at your preferences. Okay, yeah, they met the ones that are top priority in my preference list. This one's like maybe they're not meeting it all. Well, I can negotiate this one. They don't have to be 6 feet. They could be 5'9". They could be 5'7" or whatever. I can do with this. They don't have to be making 6 figures. I'm making 6, and maybe we can combine our income and all those kind of stuff. What's their mindset about money and all those kind of, you negotiate those things and figure out where it fits in, and then you keep going. Then fantasies. Oh, they have this fantasy. Oh, yeah, that's nice. You keep adding up things, and then fantasy. Oh, they don't have this one. It's fine. I can. So by the time you do all those things, you discover that you increase your chances of actually being with somebody that you actually like, not just because of your preferences, but because they will treat you better, because they will treat you nice. They will be there for you when you're sick. They will show up for you when you need them. They will leave everything to be there for you when it's the most important thing. They will make out time for you, because remember, standards are what matters the more. Because at the end of the day, your preferences and all those things, they could change tomorrow. You can always improve those areas of their life, because those ones are appearances. They deal with appearances. That's one thing I've noticed a lot. Preferences deal with a lot of more appearances or what people do in a way, but standards deal with a lot of character. So you want somebody who has built themselves to be a certain way, and you yourself, you have built yourself to become a certain person in a certain way. So that way you are able to work out a relationship. I hope this is clear. So remember, standards, non-negotiable. Preferences, negotiable. Fantasies, I don't even know where they're for. They are, if you see them, be happy. If you don't see them, you move on. So that's the thing. That's the difference. So I hope you got this, and this video has been very clear, and you have gained some level of clarity when it comes to dating. And try as much as possible not to mix these things up, because you will just keep yourself single longer than you should be. So focus on your standards, add your preferences, and then if the fantasies are there, be happy. I hope you enjoyed this video. Like, share, subscribe for more, and don't forget to check out these videos that will be showing up on your screen. I will be sharing more important tips, and I have more series coming up on this particular subject. So in another video, I will talk to you about the top standard I think you should have, like those are like on the top of your list, so that you ensure that you end up with somebody that loves you, and you love them, and they'll treat you right, and you treat them right. So check out the two videos that will be popping up in your screen. All right, guys, see you in the next video. Bye.